What's up? This is my 2003 Chevy Tracker, or call it Suzuki Grand Vitara, or whatever you want. Either way, Suzuki platform, 2.5 engine, four door. Uh, I just want to do a quick video of just telling you what I've done to it over the past 5 years, um, just to show people what you can do with it. Uh, I guess we'll start out with the front here, though. Um, got a homemade bumper. It's just made out of gas pipe from Menards, along with like a winch plate from Harbor Freight, and that's literally all it is. I bolted to the frame just for the ease of taking it on and off if I need to do anything up front here. Uh, but I also reinforced the frame for the bolts, so it's ideally you would like to weld it, but I welded on reinforcement plate on the frame, and the bolts go through that. I've used the winch a few times. It's a 9,500 pound Badlands winch, and and so far it's held up and stuff like that. I don't do anything crazy, but it will pull the weight of the vehicle, and then also do some yard work around the house. I put just generic. I think these are KC lights. I don't know. The covers are at least, but just put off-road lights on. They look cool, but do I use them? Not really. So, but yeah, got that going for me. I got off-road lights. Um, I guess since we're on the topic of the metal portion of it, I got rock sliders here. It's just 2x5 tubing from just metal hardware store. Either way, 2x5 tubing, and it's not actually welded to the frame. All I did was just cut out the rocker panels, and it's just bolted to the body. Like I said, this ain't meant to be a rock crawler, but those sliders have served its purpose. And I did that as soon as I got this rig 5.5 years ago. And like, as you can see, with my heavy set, holds my body weight. So it it serves its purpose. Um, what else on the exterior here that we can see? These are just regular ZR2 fender flares. Just I took them off, painted them, and then I was like, let's go ahead and drill some holes and just bolt these on. So that's all I did with the fender flares. Mirrors fold in. I busted off a few of them on the trail, so these are from XL7. Find them on a Grand Vitara for some reason. Tracker did not want to put them on their platform, or Suzuki didn't want Tracker to have them. So either way, those mirrors are off of XL7 or Grand Vitara, one of the two. Roof rack, that's just the regular Harbor Freight one. Just high lift jack and just some traction boards. Um, let's see. We'll go ahead and just go for the motor. Motor is just a regular 2.5 V6. And then it initially was an automatic when I bought it. So right behind that is now a manual transmission, a 5-speed. I like that automatic, except it sucked on the highway. I mean, guys that have driven on the highway, you know what I'm talking about. You have the cruise control set, the slightest hill, kick down cable will kick in, and next thing you know, it's like, wah! Just climbing a basic hill. And I have an overland trailer that I tow behind this, so it didn't like it. So the main reason why I did a 5-speed swap was just for the sake of being nicer driving on the road. And I still got working cruise control, even though I got check engine light for like a bunch of coasts pertaining to transmission not being there. But 20,000 miles later, it still works just fine, no issues. Since I 5-speed swapped it, uh, wheeling was a different challenge then. And so I went wheeling a couple times with like the stock transfer case gears, and I'm like, man, this sucks. I mean, I like it because you're more in tune with the vehicle, but man, it sucks. So I actually threw 3-to-1 crawler gears into the transfer case, and then I actually got a twin stick set up in there too. twin stick, nothing fancy, just one lever activates the four-wheel drive and deactivates it. The other one is for the high, neutral, and low range. So, but yeah, crawler gears in the transfer case with twin sticks. Rear differential is, well, what it came in this is 488 gears. So it's 488 gears in the diffs. But I just put in a TRE e-locker in this year. And man, a locker is a game changer, absolute game changer when wheeling, especially the selectable locker, e-locker. But it wasn't a bolt-in-place setup. I had to modify the ring gear, which is in a previous video, in order to make it fit the new carrier. But and obviously I've never messed with differentials before, but I got that all put together, wired up. A lot of trial and error with trying to get everything set. But either way, long story short, it's in there. Put 1,000 miles on it. I've used it off-roading. No problems whatsoever. I absolutely love it. So from the 488 gear goes to just 31-inch tires. Cooper Discovers, MTs, and I don't know. 31s is a good combo on this thing, at least. I don't know. The wheels are just regular wagon wheels or aluminum wagon wheels. I have no idea who made them or what, but they were from like an older CJ, I think it's CJ7 or CJ5. Regardless, it was from like an old Jeep. And I found them on Marketplace, seen them. I'm like, hey, these will fit on this thing. So snagged them up, threw the 31s on, and cleaned them up a bit. And I've been using them for, I said, 3.5 years now, I think. But trying to think. Go to the front end here. Front end, I grenaded at least 2 aluminum front axle housings. One was the actual third member. The other one was actually the axle housing itself breaking. But I found a Steely, and I threw that in there. Before I threw it in, I did the air actuator delete, where you just engage the front differential and throw locking hubs on. And I've had no issues with the front end ever since. I've had CV axles start clicking and stuff, but torn boot. I took them off, threw new ones on, but I got them in at home, and I'm going to rebuild them, throw new boots on, new grease, and should be good, because everybody says the OEM front CV axles are usually stronger than aftermarket. So I got that going for me. As far as armor on this thing, I got the front factory ZR2 skid plate. I got the transfer case skid plate. It did have the, paper thin gas tank skid plate, and this thing before I owned it lived in Wisconsin its entire life, so anything from Midwest, you automatically get weight reduction. So I went ahead and made a homemade skid plate for the gas tank. So did that a couple years ago. Rear diff I got from jimneybits. Is diff, just a differential skid plate for the rear. I never liked that being exposed, especially with how low this thing kind of sits. But no, jimneybits skid plate, and then also when I ordered that, I got the 1-inch diff drop for the front with that as well. So it's really cool finding out on the pages what websites you could actually order from for these things. What haven't I touched on? Oh yeah, the suspension. This, I don't know what to call this lift, but initially it started out as like the 2-inch suspension lift, where you get the pucks for the springs, and then the front strut spacer, and then you get a longer shock through the rear. This here, I'm trying something different. So up front, I got the springs are from a, what is it, 2004, 2006? I'll post the part number below, but it's from a Toyota Tacoma up front with no spacer. especially with this heavy front bumper and the winch. Helps out a lot. Um, and then I just got the spacer for the strut or shock or whatever the technical term actually is. It's not really a strut. I would consider this a shock. But either way, I got the spacer for the strut or shock up underneath here still. And then in the rear, I got the spring spacers with, I think they're from like an 87 Pontiac Fiero. The springs I'm running right now are I got off from a flea market or swap meet, and there was a tag that was barely legible on it, but you could tell like they never been thrown on a vehicle. But I tried looking up the part number, and the closest thing I could find is that they are for a Pontiac Fiero. So just don't quote me on that. Don't go out buying a spring for a Fiero, or maybe do just to see if it fits. But spacer with, I'm assuming, Fiero spring, and then Mustang GT shocks from a 2002. Overall, this sits and rides pretty nice as is. I do got like little generic airbags that you put inside the rear springs for when I'm like loaded down with gear or traveling with the trailer cross country and stuff like that, and they've helped a lot with just keeping the rear end up when I'm doing that kind of towing or traveling. So, but other than that, yeah, this is what I got for a tracker. This started out bone stock 5.5 years ago, and we've had our ups and downs, a lot of downs for sure. But I don't know. Every time I take a road trip with it or go wheeling with it, and it just reminds me why I freaking like it. It's no rock crawler. It's no. It's its own thing. Like, yeah, when you pack it with gear, you're loaded like a frickin' sardine can, but it's just so quirky. And then what's even better is when you go wheeling, it's like a couple times I've been out west, like Colorado and Utah and stuff. Like, I'm just doing these trails where people are in like $60,000 plus Jeeps on 37s or 40s with full lockers, and here I am in a rig that probably is worth two bologna sandwiches and a frickin' $5 Quick Trip gift card. Like, I mean, for what it is, I like it. I wouldn't change a thing about it. So for so it's set up how I want right now, and I'm just going to use it. That's all I'm going to do. This motor has 106,000 miles on it, so it's a good, healthy engine. But we all know that the timing chain slash tensioners slash guides, I guess they're the ultimate deciding factor of when these engines go. I do got a spare at home, so we'll see what I want to do. But other than the engine, this thing obviously lived in Wisconsin most of its life, like I mentioned earlier, and it it's it's seen better days. I'm still going to use it, but what I might try to do is find a rust-free like tracker, blown motor, blown transmission, regardless, and buy that and just swap everything I'd done to that to this to that. So it's all in due time, but I guess for right now I'll just use it for what it is. But any questions, feel free to ask. And like I said, I'm going to try to post some more videos on this kind of stuff. So thank you. Bye.